Hi everyone, Frank Starling here, and today I'm going to tell you how to make 20 bucks in 20 minutes from your home during the quarantine. Now, all you'll need is a US bank account with $101 in it and to be over the age of 18. In order to get this $20, we are going to have to convert stocks on the stock market into cash. So we'll sell them, cash out our investment account, and then we'll have 20 bucks in our bank account. Now, I've added links below to the two investment apps that we're going to use to generate this $20. But I want to give you a little bit of background as to how it is that these companies are giving out cash. So, a lot of industries have been changing with technological advances over the last decade or so. But the brokerage industries, meaning the industries that act as an intermediary between consumers like you and I and the stock market, have been hit particularly hard. So about 4 to 5 years ago, there was an innovative business model that was released on the scene by this one company called Robinhood. And essentially what they did was they changed the way that these businesses are accruing funds and generating a profit. Historically, these middlemen were taking a commission for each trade that was being made on the stock market. This commission would be anywhere from $5 to $10. And these huge companies like Chase, JP Morgan, and Fidelity were all structurally founded on this principle of this business model. When Robinhood came on the scene, they said, look, we are going to be offering a $0 commission on these trades. And that really caught the attention of a lot of consumers. The way that they started generating revenue was by holding the investment funds for 5 business days when they were being applied to an account. Meaning that if I wanted to take $100 and invest it in the stock market, I would have to wait 5 business days before I could invest that money into the stock market. And when you have hundreds of thousands or millions of people doing that, you generate a huge cash flow for the company. The other way that they're generating profit and revenue is that they're offering subscription services to special data on these stocks. So if you are a hardcore investor and you want to know a lot of investment metrics of the stocks that you're buying, Robinhood will provide that service, but at a fee, and they call this Robinhood Gold, and Webull has an equivalent to that. So all of these investment companies and brokerage companies have been shifting their business models to mimic that of Robinhood, because what was happening was all of the consumers in the industry jumped on Robinhood's ship, and they've been fighting ever since to try and win back consumers. And Robinhood's still in the middle of this battle. And so in doing so, they are offering pretty generous sign-up bonuses for using their services and signing up for an account with them in hopes that you'll stay with them and they'll earn your loyalty in your services. Now, I can go into that a little bit more in a separate video, but I just wanted to touch upon why people are generating or giving out cash, because it's a little unusual these days for them to do so. And I hope it makes a little bit more sense now as to why they're paying out 20 bucks. So in order to get that $20, Robinhood requires you to sign up with a deposit of at least $1 in your account, and you'll get a free stock. And then Webull requires you to deposit at least $100 within 30 days of sign up in order to get 2 free stocks. Now, these stocks are randomized, but you'll be getting at least $20 of value from them. And if you want to cash out, once you receive the stock, you're free to sell it, and you can close your account within 2 business days after that. So I wanted to touch a little bit more about the investments, the stock market, and other innovative ways to make some cash from home. Now, I know that we're all hopefully getting a stimulus check soon, but if you don't immediately need those funds, you can put them to work today to try and generate additional funds or revenue for yourself. But first, I want to give you a little bit more background on Robinhood and Webull and why I think it's important to sign up for both. So Robinhood and Webull, although they are competitors and essentially offer the same services, there are pros and cons to each app and each software package that it comes with. And I think it warrants keeping them both around if you're thinking of investing long term. And investing long term now, out of any time in the past decade, is probably one of the smartest ideas. You've probably heard of the saying, buy low, sell high. Well, now we are definitely in a lull in the market and reaching, all-time lows. So if you have the available funds, I think now is probably the best time in the last decade to invest. So I think it's a good time to get into the market, and Robinhood is probably the most user-friendly, clean, and intuitive app to begin doing so. For those of you who are out there new to the stock market, and this is a completely whole new world, I would highly recommend Robinhood just because it's so simple and clean. You literally pick a stock, press the buy button, and then it appears in your account. If you want to sell it, you press a button, sell, and it's very simple, very intuitive. There are also a couple of other cool applications with Robinhood. So let's say you want to deposit $100 into your Robinhood account. That money is going to sit in your account until you're ready to buy a stock. And typically what you'll want to do is you'll want to wait for a day when the stock dips kind of low, and whenever you think there's a good price for a stock. And that can take anywhere from a day to 6 months, depending on how patient or aggressive you want to be in your buying or selling strategies. Now, while that money is sitting there, Robinhood has a unique feature of issuing these debit cards where you can go to a bunch of US banks and withdraw money from this debit card that you have in your investment account. So although it's sitting in your investment account, you have easy access to it, almost like a checking account. But it gets better, because not only is that money sitting there and you're able to withdraw it at a moment's notice, but it's also accruing interest. So it's not only like a checking account where you can withdraw money from there, but it's also like a savings account in which you're able to generate revenue and interest off of the funds that are waiting in your account. And Webull doesn't have anything like that. Now, I like Webull because it has a lot of metrics, investment metrics on the stocks. So I'll often go to Webull to gather data on the stocks that I'm interested in investing in. But honestly, it's a little bit overwhelming to me because there's just so much data out there, so many numbers, so many metrics that I'm not familiar or comfortable with. But it's something that I feel like I can grow into. So to summarize and provide a little bit of an analogy, I consider Robinhood to be like an automatic transmission. It's plug and play, you jump in and you go. And Webull I equate to being like a manual transmission. It has a lot more options, but it allows you to have a lot more control over what you're doing in the stock market. Now, that being said, I wanted to give a little bit of advice and let you all know that I am by no means a financial expert, and please don't take this as any sort of financial advice. But when I was first getting into the stock market, I was extremely overwhelmed. And my mentor actually reached out to me and gave me some of the best advice that I've ever had on investing. And what he said was, don't get caught up in all the metrics being thrown around. People will swear by PE statements or, debt to income ratios or things like that. But put that all aside. When you're first investing, think of something that you're really passionate about, a product that you love or a service that you keep going back to, and invest in that. Because if you like something, chances are there are other people out there that are just as passionate about that product or service as you are. So if you constantly find yourself on Twitter, invest in Twitter. if you're a huge fan of Coca-Cola and drink that, every meal or whatnot, invest in Coca-Cola. I really like the mentality of investing because it really connects the consumer to the company, and it really provides a sense of ownership. Once you are a stock owner, you're invited, and Robinhood makes it really easy to attend. But these quarterly meetings called shareholder calls, and you can actually phone in and listen to the CEOs and executive staff of these companies updating you onto the current occurrences of their company, because they are a publicly reported company since they're on the stock market. So, if you always wanted a Tesla but you can't afford one, invest in Tesla, and you can get on the phone with Elon Musk and hear how things are going. It is kind of a cool feeling. And I think it's inspirational to hear how they're talking and hear their vision for the company moving forward. It's just a really great experience. So if you have the time, if you have the extra funds, highly recommend investing. Now, the other thing that I really wanted to mention was, not only in the investment industry or the brokerage industry are there current competitions taking place and companies giving out incentive bonuses. Also, the banking industry is a battleground for trying to recruit customers. So I found this site extremely helpful. It was actually a grad school project that spun out into its own website, and it's been maintained ever since. But it's called everybankbonus.com, and I'll link it below. And I don't get any sort of incentive or referral or anything like that for this. It's just a tool that I found to be very useful. But it does require a fair amount of cash to be sitting around and getting a bonus from. Bonuses range from $500 to about $1,000, and they all have varying levels of commitment or requirements to attain those bonuses. I just got $400 the other day from Santander Bank, who offered something that was, that fit my personal needs and made it pretty easy for me to get that money. But there's a bunch of banks out there that are recruiting and offering, bonuses for signing up with them. But the thing that I really like about everybankbonus.com is that there are a lot of specific and articulate details that go into the requirements that you need to meet in order to get that bonus. And Every Bank Bonus makes it super easy to see with one click what all those requirements are. And what I'm talking about is, let's say if you open up a checking account and there's a $300 bonus, you click the details button on everybank.com and it tells you, well, you have to have a deposit of $2,000 within 3 months and maintain a minimum account balance of $1,500. Or, we have an account maintenance fee each month of $15, and you need to maintain an account balance of $500 for 2 months before you get your bonus. So it takes a fair amount of research, and I didn't want to include that in the title, and I'm kind of including this as like a little Easter egg for those of you who might have extra funds and can recruit, can maybe a little bit of extra time and want to try and make a little bit more money. So I want to have that with the stipulation of make sure to read the fine print, but everybankbonus.com really does a great job at detailing that and laying it all out in a clean, simple, and intuitive manner. So that's really all I have. Please comment below. If you do sign up for those investment accounts, let me know what stocks you get. I'm always curious, and I'm actually trying to track them to see how often which stocks are given out. So please comment below and let me know what stock you're getting from these sign-up bonuses. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. This has become a new interest of mine, investing over the past couple of years, and it's something that I'm really passionate about and I love talking about. If there's any other subject that you want me to talk about, I still consider myself a novice, but I'm happy to answer if I can help or answer your questions. I'm more than happy to. So thanks for watching. This is Frank Starling. Take care and have a good day. Stay safe, everyone.